Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys and assembled company, wherever you are listening in this big, wide world, and whatever time it is, welcome to the World Storytelling Cafe and Marrakesh International Storytelling Festival happening throughout Marrakesh at this very moment. There are things happening in the Music Museum in Marrakesh, and El Fadden, and here at the World Storytelling Cafe, we have our virtual performance by our magnificent young international tellers, plural. However, at this moment, it is young international teller singular, one Kenza, who will introduce herself, tell us where she is from, tell her about herself, and then she will tell us not one, and not two, but three stories. Take it away, Kenza. It's all yours.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Kenza and I live in Italy, but my mom and my dad come from Morocco. And today I know it's the festival in Marrakesh, so I dress like the Moroccan girl. And today I want to tell three stories. One is a Moroccan version. The second is a story about the country when I live. And the third is a story who tell me about my teacher. So if I can start or... Okay. So the first story is about my country when I live, Italy. Her name is Azzurrina. When we're around 110, 17, and in the castle of Montebello di Toriana in Rimini lives a little girl named Gwendalina, who is just 5 or 6 years old and is the daughter of the future lord, Ugoccione, Count of Montebello. It is assumed that the girl disappeared on June 21, on the day of the summer solstice. The little girl had come into the world at a time when no one was able to explain her diversity. Her appearance did not go unnoticed, with skin as white as snow, haze of a more faded blue than a cloudy sky, and a hair colors whiter than milk. Popular belief saw these physical characteristics as the result of the work of the devil. Azzurrina had the misfortune of being born an albino. The mother, to mask her condition, dyed her hair with a mixture of herbs that were supposed to camouflage the pearly white, so similarly to moonstone. Adularia useless attempts because that type of hair cannot retain the colored pigments. The little girl's hair took on only shades of blue little. Gwendalina was to nicknamed Azzurrina. Aguccione didn't listen to anyone who suggested he get rid of the creature. He had no heart for it. He was a loving father, worried about his daughter's fate. He feared that something bad could happen to her, precisely because of her non-ordinary appearance. So much so that he decided to have her watched day and night by two guards, Domenico and Ruggero, who should never ever have allowed her to leave the castle. On 21 June, while Uguccione was far away, caught up in a bottle, Azzurrina was at the castle as usual, watched over by Domenico and Ruggero. The little girl was playing with a ball of rags, just as a storm was raging outside, according to the version of one of the two guards. The ball had rolled down the stair that led to the underground icebox. Then a scream, and then a hairy silence. The two immediately rushed. They no longer found any trace of the girl or even the bull. Azzurrina has disappeared into thin air. The storm abruptly ceased. At the same moment, the little girl disappeared. Since the legend has it that the ghost of the little girl still wanders in the castle and makes her voice heard every 5 years, right on the day of the summer solstice. And from that day forward, several people in the castle are said to have heard noises and cries of Azzurrina. So this is the first story. Is about this is girl. It was Azzurrina, and is a legend of when I live, and is a famous legend. And this is a girl disappeared of nothing, and in that time I he's never see of anyone, and so it is disappeared. But it's a beautiful girl because he has a Mrs. Future albino, so he has a skin white and hair white, and in this period, this is Miss Future doesn't present, so it's like the devil of the people. So this is the first story. Okay.
Thank you. Now, please, could you carry on with the second story? That was wonderful.
Okay, thank you. So the second story is about a version of Moroccan story. So its title is The Grave Mound. The mole of Arahwad, or is the cemetery, the mole of graves, or the torment of the graves, is a village legend that inhabits the imagination of the inhabitants of isolated village, especially in the high places and mountains. In the Berber dialect, the public imagines a mole coming out of the cemetery when night falls to start its crazy run, which is not finished except by the first sign of the morning. In the darkness of the night, it appears luminous due to the hedge sparks that fly from its haze, and its movement makes a chirping noise that breaks the lonely silence of the night. And if it so happens that she comes across a man during her night's wanderings, she carries him on her back to her place of residence in the cemetery, of course, and there she digs a grave for him to bury him alive or hate him. And the matter is related to her desire and appetite. It is said that early in her life, she was a widowed woman. She became a widow and did not abide by the teaching of the social and religious custom that oblige her to respect God's rights. That is to wear white clothes during the waiting period and not to leave the marital home and not to sleep with another man during that because of her lack of adherence to God's rights. God took revenge on her, and her reward was the eternal curse that turned her into a genie that has the form of a mule, who sleeps during the day with the dead and spends the night in torment. In some area, people believe that the grave mole could disguise itself in order to enter homes in the guise of a relative or friends to make it easier for her to kidnap a family member to her cemetery. So this is the second story, and
Thank you. That's brilliant. The reason I keep disappearing is because we've had to move the camera to where we can charge it. So we're not. It's not that we're not looking at you. It's just we are looking at you, but it looks like we're not. So that was wonderful. Could you tell us the third story, Kenza? As you are the whole world, Italy is the whole world at the moment, obviously.
Yes.
So, Kenza, if you could tell your third story, that would be wonderful. Thank you, Kenza.
so the third story is a short story. It's about the building of St. Paul's. Back at the time that St. Paul's Cathedral was being built in London, the architect Sir Christopher Wren was visiting the site. He happened to notice their builders working closely together. Two of them were frowning, but the third was smiling. Curious, Sir Christopher Wren approached the three builders. He asked the first, frowning builder, "What are you doing?" "I'm doing what I'm told," the builder answered crossly. He asked the second, frowning builder the same question. I'm earning money so that I can feed my family," he snapped. Finally, Sir Christopher asked the man who seemed happy, "What are you doing?" "I'm building the most beautiful building in London," he replied with a smile. "For hundreds of years to come, people from all over the world will visit this magnificent building and admire its beauty. They will feel inspired, uplifted, and find peace here. I'm playing my part. I'm making this wonderful experience happen. Thank you.
And thank you. Barbara C, would you like to say a word of encouragement to Kenza? You heard her third story.
Yes.
So three, then everyone else be quiet. Or give her a round of applause. Pretend she's got an audience.
Kenza, what can I say? I am one of your best fans. I'm one of your avid fans. I'm always amazed with your stories, and every week you get better, 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 and better. And I still remember the first time you told a story for us, you were just a little shy, just a little. But now, yes. So yes, please continue to join us. I think that you're great, Princess Kenza.
Thank you.
And Mike,
Thanks.
sitting in Reading, in the UK, where it's undoubtedly much colder than it is here.
I bet it is
Would
too.
you care to say a little?
Yes. Kenza, thank you. I'm so glad I nearly didn't get here tonight. I'm so glad I did because I've just listened to three wonderful stories. I'd heard the Christopher Wren thing before, and it's just such a good the idea behind it that what you're doing, yeah, okay, you're chopping stones or whatever, but you're actually building a magnificent church to the glory of God and for the future of people to enjoy. That's so right. And I felt sorry for that poor grave moon. People talk so badly of the moon. It's awful. And even I'm afraid for the poor albino girl who disappeared, and now you hear her every 5 years. But it was great telling. Thank you. And thank goodness we were both here, or I would have missed it, or you might not even have got to tell your stories. Isn't it wonderful when things come together?
Oh, yes.
Thank you very much.
It's within the character of the festival that things just happen. And you just haven't. You could have just come with one story, but you came with three. And if ever there was a moment when I needed three stories, it was now. So thank you, Kenza.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
I'm going to say what's coming up, and I'm hoping that by the time I finish speaking, maybe another young teller will have joined us. Maybe live, maybe from the cafe, maybe not. But on Friday, for anyone who's listening out in the big wide world, we've got my Maseka Curry from Ireland, and she's telling stories for children at 6 o'clock UK time, 6 p.m. And on Sunday, we have our worldwide story round with Mike Rust. And then, of course, next Tuesday, we come back to our international young tellers. And I hope you come back to us next week.
Yes,
honestly,
absolutely.
I'm hoping you won't be all by yourself. I think partly to do with the chaos of the festival. You're in the middle of a week-long festival. We've got 60 storytellers. We've got 3 other events going on at this moment throughout the city of Marrakesh. So everyone can't be at the same place at the same time. But of course, Baba C. Baba C. Yeah, we'll put a bit more Baba C on the screen. Can you get a bit more Baba C on the screen?
Maybe there's one option to come here and see the kids.
No, so you're okay. You're okay. So let's no, yeah.
Let's see. I can help you.
No, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We can see plenty of him.
The place, John.
You see he's happy.
Choose the place.
you need to sit. You need somewhere to sit.
Just choose.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
How is perfect? Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So we're not going to ask you to tell. We just want you to look Yeah.
So now I'm sitting next to John, who's my twin. You can't tell us apart.
Baba C, turn round. The camera's behind you.
And then on next Tuesday, we've got our worldwide story round. No, on next Tuesday, we've got a young international tellers at the same time. But for now, and have we got to the half past? Because if we've got to the half past the time we're due to start, I think it'd be quite appropriate for us to finish at that time. We are precisely at that moment. Thank you very much, Kenta, for making this a programme. Another round of applause for Kenta Billy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed the chaos.
Me too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.